The package was supposed to be a Christmas present. Inside were Barbie dolls. They had been ordered for a 7-year-old girl named Athena Strand. On November 30th, 2022, a FedEx delivery driver arrived at her family's rural Texas home to deliver that box. Within hours, Athena was missing. Hundreds of people would search for her. Police, FBI agents, volunteers, dogs, helicopters, drones. But investigators would eventually realize they needed to look much closer at the man who delivered those Christmas presents. And more than 3 years later, a courtroom would finally see what cameras inside his delivery truck had captured. Athena, alive, walking toward that truck. Tonight, we're going through the disappearance and murder of 7-year-old Athena Strand, the autopsy findings, and the evidence that revealed everything. Welcome to the podcast You Can't Unhear. Athena lived with her father and stepmother near Paradise, Texas, a rural area in Wise County, northwest of Fort Worth. On Wednesday, November 30th, she came home from school. At approximately 4:15 p.m., Athena got off her school bus. Nothing seemed unusual. Her stepmother later told authorities she'd last seen Athena at around 5:45 p.m. Athena had been sorting laundry in a converted storage building that she and her sister used as a bedroom. Then, she disappeared. At approximately 6:05, her stepmother realized Athena wasn't where she was supposed to be. She began searching. By around 6:40 p.m., the Wise County Sheriff's Office had been called. Officers arrived roughly 14 minutes later. And initially, this looked like a missing child case. Maybe Athena had wandered away. Maybe she was hiding. Maybe she had gone somewhere on the property. Police searched until approximately 4:30 the following morning. Nothing. At 7 o'clock Thursday morning, the search expanded. Hundreds of volunteers eventually joined law enforcement. People walked shoulder to shoulder through brush and fields. Authorities deployed dogs, horses, ATVs, drones, and helicopters equipped with thermal imaging technology. But there was something investigators needed to understand. Who had been near the house around the time Athena disappeared? And one seemingly ordinary detail stood out. A package had been delivered. Inside that package were Barbie dolls intended as Athena's Christmas present. Investigators contacted FedEx, and eventually they identified the driver, Tanner Lynn Horner. Horner wasn't technically a direct FedEx employee. He worked for Big Topspin, a contractor operating FedEx ground routes. Initially, investigators weren't necessarily treating him as the killer. He was a witness. A man who happened to be standing near the property around the time Athena vanished. Maybe he'd seen something, and Horner claimed he had. When investigators questioned Horner, he gave them a lead. He said he'd seen a green van leaving the property. Police took it seriously, because Athena was missing and every minute mattered. But investigators couldn't find evidence supporting Horner's story. Then, they discovered something much more important. There were cameras inside his delivery vehicle, and when investigators examined that footage, the story changed. Texas Ranger Job Espinoza later testified that he saw Athena alive. And he saw Tanner Horner put her inside the FedEx truck. The 2026 trial would reveal even more. According to prosecutors, footage showed Horner clearing space inside the truck before arriving at the Strand home. He delivered the package, then returned toward the house. Athena walked back with him, He showed her the rear of the truck, picked her up, and put her inside. Then he drove away. Athena began asking questions. Where were they going? Why was she inside his truck? The cameras and audio were recording. Until Horner covered one of them. Horner eventually confessed to killing Athena, but his explanation was strange. He claimed he'd accidentally struck Athena with his delivery vehicle while backing up. According to the arrest affidavit, Horner said Athena wasn't seriously injured, but he panicked because he believed she would tell her father. So he put her inside the truck and killed her. For years, that became one of the most repeated descriptions of the case. An accident, followed by panic, followed by murder. But the evidence presented in 2026 complicated that explanation considerably. Prosecutors argued the video showed something different. Athena walking alive and being brought toward the truck. And then, the audio. Horner asked how old she was, where she went to school. He told her she was pretty. Later, the truck stopped. The recording captured Athena crying, saying, "No," and sounding like she was in pain. About 18 minutes later, Horner began driving again. Whatever happened inside that truck, Athena never made it home. Investigators continued closing in. On December 2nd, Horner was detained. Police searched his vehicle. They searched his home. And eventually, Horner told investigators where Athena was. Near an area known as Bobo Crossing, along the Trinity River. FBI agents entered the cold water. And there, they found Athena. She had been missing for 2 days. The search was over. But now investigators needed another question answered. How had she died? Athena's autopsy was performed on December 3rd, 2022. She was 4 feet 4 inches tall and weighed 67 pounds. When her body arrived, both hands had been protected with brown paper bags. That's common forensic practice. Hands can contain evidence, fibers, hair, DNA, material underneath fingernails. Her body was covered in dirt and silt, with vegetation in her hair, consistent with where she'd been recovered. And then, the examination began. One of the most striking findings involved Athena's head and face. There was significant congestion. Essentially, blood had accumulated within the vessels. Her eyes contained extensive petechial hemorrhaging, tiny pinpoint areas of bleeding. Those findings can have different causes, but combined with everything else, they were important. Because Athena also had injuries involving her face, head, neck, chest, and back. The medical examiner concluded that there was evidence of asphyxiation. Athena had been deprived of oxygen. But that wasn't the only thing the examination revealed. There was also blunt force trauma. Patterned bruising was documented on her face, neck, and chest. The injuries had occurred while Athena was still alive. And despite early speculation surrounding the case, the medical examiner found no evidence of sexual trauma during the autopsy. The final conclusion was devastating. Athena Strand died from blunt force injuries with smothering and strangulation. This wasn't simply someone panicking for a second. There were multiple mechanisms of violence. And Athena was only 7 years old. There is one detail from this investigation that Athena's mother, Maitland Gandhi, later spoke about publicly. The package Horner had been delivering was Athena's Christmas present. Barbie dolls. Specifically, Barbies built around the message that children could grow up to become anything they wanted. It's difficult to imagine a crueler detail. A box representing everything a child might become, arriving at almost the exact moment somebody took that future away from her. And ironically, that same box became one of the clues that helped investigators find him. The delivery led to Horner. Horner led them to the truck, and the truck contained cameras. Horner was indicted in February 2023 for aggravated kidnapping and capital murder of a child under 10. For years, the case moved slowly toward trial. Prosecutors announced they would seek the death penalty. Then came April 7th, 2026. A jury had been selected. The capital murder trial was beginning. And suddenly, Tanner Horner pleaded guilty. Capital murder, aggravated kidnapping. There was no longer a question for the jury about whether Horner had killed Athena. He had admitted it. Their job became deciding his punishment: life in prison without parole or death. For weeks, jurors were shown the evidence. The truck footage, the audio, the investigation, the autopsy, Athena's final hours. They also heard evidence presented by Horner's defense, because even after a guilty plea, Texas law required the jury to determine whether death was the appropriate punishment. Then, on May 5th, 2026, the jury began deliberating. It took less than 3 hours. The decision was unanimous: death. Tanner Horner was sentenced to death by lethal injection for the murder of Athena Strand. And that's where this case stands today. But when you strip away the courtroom, the forensic terminology, the capital murder charge, and the death sentence, this case began with something painfully ordinary. A 7-year-old came home from school. Christmas was approaching. Someone had bought her Barbie dolls. A delivery driver arrived at her house. And Athena trusted an adult, but that trust was used against her. And the same delivery that brought Tanner Horner to Athena ultimately helped investigators find him. A package, a route number, a delivery truck, and cameras he apparently didn't realize would eventually tell investigators where Athena had gone. The Barbie dolls were supposed to represent everything Athena could become. She never got that chance. Thanks for joining me tonight. What a heartbreaking case. I'm sending much love to Athena's family and prayers to Athena. May she rest in peace. Until next time, stay safe and take care of your loved ones. And I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast You Can't Unhear.